All right, testing, testing. Okay, so everybody can hear me? Good, we're all good. All right, so good evening, everybody. My name is Daniel Little, ASUN Director of Elections, and I'd like to thank you all for coming and attending tonight. So there will be 2 debates tonight, and each debate will consist of candidates from specific colleges. As one college completes a debate, those candidates will leave the stage and the next college will take the stage. If you would like to applaud a candidate, please wait until the end of the debate until it has finished. This will allow each candidate all the time that they are allotted. Please refrain from booing out of respect of the candidates, and please no flash photography. If you do have a question that you would like to ask the candidates, we'll be coming around with a little box and some note cards right here. So you can just write one of those down and it may be up there. So we will have a moderator here to facilitate the debate tonight. The moderator will be asking these questions to the candidates. So without further ado, I'm now give the stage to tonight's moderator, the coordinator for the Center Every Student, Every Story, and interim assistant director to the new student initiatives, Ricky Salazar.
Cool. Hello. Hi. Can everyone hear that? Can you all hear that? Okay. Just like making sure. Well, thank you, Daniel, for inviting me today, and thank you for the people that are here, candidates. Awesome. Okay. Definitely exercising your civic duty to be engaged, to have a platform, be a voice for people, have a very tough job, right? So I, commend you. Can we give them a big, we don't have a lot of people in here, but it's okay. Give them a big round of applause. This is being filmed also, so hopefully more individuals are able to see these debates. The debate will be between the senator candidates for the College of Agriculture, Biotechnology, and Natural Resources, and then Community Health Sciences. The candidates of each college will go to the stage and will be asked several questions related to their college, with each college having different questions. Candidates are seated in alphabetical order by last name and will be given 2 minutes to introduce themselves and state their platform. The moderator, that's me, right? The moderator will then ask the first senator candidate the first question and will be given 2 minutes to respond. Then the second candidate will be given 2 minutes to respond, so on and so forth. After all candidates have responded to the first question, the first candidate will have 1 minute for an optional rebuttal. Then the second candidate will be given 1 minute for an optional rebuttal, and so on. After all candidates have responded, the second question will be asked to the second candidate and continue in the same cycle as the previous question. Each debate will consist of 2 questions answered by all candidates determined by the ASUN Elections Commission, and then time permitting will be followed up by questions from the audience. So get your questions ready. During the debate, audience members can write questions on note cards provided and place them in the box that you saw Jeff holding. The Elections Commission will choose questions randomly and only discard questions that have already been asked or are deemed inappropriate to the nature of this debate. Does anyone have any questions so far? Okay. We may now have the CABNR candidates step up to the stage, please. There you go. Quickly test the mics, if you can just say something. Hello.
Peanut butter.
Sorry, well, they're short. Hello.
There you go. Kind of get comfy. Awesome. Candidates, do you have any questions before we commence the senator debates? Okay. I would like to remind the audience that the debate has begun in silence and respect is needed for the candidates. We will begin. Candidate Frost, you have 2 minutes to introduce yourself and your platform.
Hi, my name is Dawson Frost. I am a first-year student studying environmental science and political science. I'm originally from Found, Nevada. It's a small town about 60 miles east of Reno. You aren't familiar with it. So my platform really consists of two parts, and those parts are sustainability and engagement. And I think there's a lot of ways we can improve sustainability around campus. One of the main things I'd like to do is update the SNF, which is the Sustainable Nevada Initiative Fund. Right now we have $10,000 that are going thank you, that often goes unused, but I'd like to be able to promote that fund better so that way students are aware of the opportunity that they have to engage in a sustainable project, or if that money isn't used, that it goes to the director of ASUN so that they can promote sustainability. And the second part of my platform is engagement. And engagement is sort of this intangible thing that it's kind of difficult to define, but I would like to define it as how connected are students to their resources, and whether they're experiencing difficulties, and are these difficulties being heard or voiced. So I think one of the things we need to do is we need to have the CABNR Student Advisory Board meet more consistently, kind of revamp that. I know when the Vice Dean went to the Provost's office, we got a new Vice Dean who is still kind of adjusting, but I'd like to see that advisory board meet more often. And I will close with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Melchor, you have 2 minutes to introduce yourself and your platform.
Hello everyone, my name is Alexander Melchor, currently a junior majoring in biochemistry. Some things about me is that I was born in Vegas, but half my life I was raised here and half my life I was raised in Vegas. So I guess you could call me a half native if you want. I'm in the TRIO program, and it's for those for low income or first generations to succeed in higher education. And then I'm working with LEAP, and what we do is we help underrepresented students to get into the STEM field in their high school years. And my goals, I have 5. My first goal is to try to create a CABNR tutoring center. My second goal is to partner up with CABNR ambassadors and develop more social activities like the Welcome Back barbecue that we all know. And within those Welcome Back barbecues, I would like to add informative booths for current and incoming students so they know what the college has to offer and what clubs we can offer as well that are related to CABNR. My fourth goal is probably to try to create a book loan system for undergrads, and what I would like to have is undergrads rent out their books to those who are going to take those classes that they have taken before. And lastly is just to help clubs and organizations achieve their goals. Thank you.
Cool, thank you. All right, candidate Rogashevsky, you have 2 minutes to introduce yourself and your platform.
Hello, everybody. My name is Corey Rogashevsky. I'm a junior in the forestry program through CABNR. I am the current, one of the current ASUN senators for the College of Agriculture. I come from a small rural northern Nevada town called Smith Valley. If you've heard of it, you're one of the few. So my platform is 3 things: security, action, and sustainability. And I purposely named it this because not only is the SAS the governing document of ASUN and secures the duties of the senators, it's also my 3 main points. As I echo some of the other candidates up here, sustainability is a huge thing. It's important to many people in our college. I believe we should take action on these goals to make our campus more sustainable and more secure. To that end, I've been very civically engaged. I've talked to multiple clubs on campus and throughout the college. I've talked to the police services to see what we could do. I've gone on safety walks, and I have also taken part in trying to make the campus more accessible for ADA requirements. So, thank you.
Now, candidate Romero, You have 2 minutes to introduce yourself and your platform.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Cecilia Romero, and I'm currently a junior, double majoring in biochemistry and molecular biology, as well as Spanish literature and culture. I'm very passionate about the medical field and serving my community. On campus, I'm involved with Phi Delta Epsilon, which is the pre-medical fraternity on campus. I'm a member of the Blue Key Honor Society. I'm a research lab assistant, and I'm an interpreter for the Student Outreach Clinic. Outside of campus, I'm a medical scribe at Northern Nevada Medical Center, and I volunteer with Renown and Big Brothers Big Sisters. So if I were elected into Senate, my main goals would be to improve the university's security, civic engagement, and sustainability. So I hope to expose and educate the student body on the various resources that our university has to offer. For example, we have safety training offered by the university police and multiple academic success programs in place like TRIO Scholars, McNair Scholars, and CBESS. I also hope to integrate the various members of our college in order to create a more welcoming community, not just for us CABNR students, but also for new and prospective students. And lastly, I am aiming for a more environmentally friendly campus, which is something that can be done by making changes such as switching to strawless lids, implementing a more rigorous recycling program, and setting up an on-campus donation center.
Great. Stunning. It's one of my favorite words, so you'll hear that a lot, okay? Okay. All right, question 1. We will now move to the debate questions. Candidate Frost, as the first candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What are ways that the university can improve sustainability on this campus?
I think there are several ways to improve sustainability. Like I said in my opening statement, I think updating the SNF and promoting that better would be one way. And then making sure that money is still going towards sustainability if it isn't used by students for a sustainable project of their choice. Another thing, candidate Romero, I agree that we need a more rigorous recycling program. And use the mic. Okay. I'd like to see that be student-led, whether we provide like initiatives for clubs to partake in that, or we make mandates or something to basically amp up our recycling and make sure that's happening campus-wide. And then lastly, also with recycling, I think education initiatives are important to make sure that students understand recycling and that we're doing it correctly. So that way the material we try to recycle is being recycled, so that way it's not wasted. And lastly, something that I've heard from a lot of students is moving towards a plastic-free campus by banning plastic water bottles, plastic straws, and other plastics that maybe aren't 100% necessary when we can provide water bottles, we have water fill-up stations, things like that.
Thank you. Yeah, you both are going to have to do that, okay? Thank you for doing that. Candidate Melchor, as the second candidate, you will also have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What are ways that the university can improve sustainability on this campus?
I think one of my goals was like having more social activities and having more clubs and organizations involved within those to have more informative booths to sustain the sustainability, and such as like the police officers or us senates being there and telling them what the deal's going on and what the students want, you know. And I think with that, and not just with CABNR, but just like as a whole, like anyone can join that. And I think that would be a good idea to have a better sustainability within the campus. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Rogashevsky, as the third candidate, you will also have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What are ways that the university can improve sustainability on campus?
Personally, I have worked towards a more sustainable campus through the implementation of more of the water refilling stations. ASUN is also dedicated to the sustainable initiative of, we have started handing out water bottles to be used at those refilling stations because they don't do much good if you don't have a water bottle to use there. I've also worked with the Nevada Wolf Shop to help bring in some reusable cloth tote bags that could be used in lieu of the single-use plastic ones. I've worked closely with the current Director of Sustainability, Sierra Jickling, and we've worked towards making campus easier for travel to get to. We've implemented a U-Pass program to try to limit the congestion of traffic around campus and encourage people to use bus lines, which will help reduce the fuel costs. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Romero, as the fourth candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What are ways that the university can improve sustainability on campus?
Well, as I previously mentioned, that is one of my goals. To reiterate on that, I do, one of my ideas is to switch from strawless into strawless lids. I feel like that will definitely make an impact on the plastic use of the university. I also do want to set up an on-campus donation center in order to help not only us, but members of the Reno Spark community. And I do want to integrate a more rigorous recycling program. It was actually recently brought to my attention that in CABNR, Inflation Agriculture right now, they're no longer recycling in printer ink, and that's actually a huge problem. Not only, we can still recycle these things ourselves, but it's not something that the university is facilitating for us anymore. And by taking away services such as that, I think that's really affecting our sustainability. So by returning stuff like that and implementing more recycling programs, recycling can go from batteries, printer ink, organic and inorganic products. So working on that will definitely help. And one last thing would also be to improve what our university is investing on when it comes to budget for our university to be more environmentally friendly.
Great, thank you. Candidate Frost, I'm coming back to you. You now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
Well, I don't think there's really anything to rebut because I think we all pretty much agree that sustainability is a main problem on campus and something that we should all work to improve. So I would just say that I agree with my fellow candidates. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Melchor, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
I have no rebuttal, but just a thought. And that thought is with the Wolf Shop, and it comes from Corey and Cecilia on how donations can apply. Maybe we can do the donations. Well, say you have $7.38, and then you can donate the remainder, so it can be $8. I think that would be a really good idea. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Candidate Rogaszewski, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
I would just like to clarify some of the things that my fellow candidates said. We've actually passed legislation through ASUN that supports the NSHE Board of Regents updating their policies for fossil fuel divestment. So they are looking at alternatives for those energy sources, and so we could begin to divest from those companies. I would also like to clarify that it's not just printer ink through CABNR that is forbidden. It is now throughout the entire college because the person that we normally gave those supplies to no longer accepts them. So, thank you. And he's gone. Not really. You need a mic?
Is this one? Okay, it's still working.
I can help you with that. Anyone want to tell a joke?
Do have one, but it's very stupid.
Okay. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef.
What do you call a frozen dog?
Oh God. Got any
But
jokes?
I just
No? Darn. But
All right. Thank you, candidate. Candidate, where are we? Candidate Romero, you now have the opportunity for this for 1 minute rebuttal.
Okay. So no rebuttal here. I just want to, reinforce what everyone has said. We clearly all have goals to improve our university's sustainability, and I think it's very important. Like what Corey said, I am aware of the legislature that was passed. That's actually how I got the idea to not just only invest our school's money into fossil fuels, but to try to make the best that we can with that. I agree with everyone.
Great, thank you. We will now move on to the second question of the debate. Candidate Melchor, we're starting with you. As the first candidate, you will have the opportunity, you have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. As the land-grant institution, CABNR is a particularly important part of our community. What special initiatives would you like to see CABNR engage in with the university and local communities?
Can you repeat it?
Of course. As the land-grant institution, CABNR is a particularly important part of our community. What special initiatives would you like to see CABNR engage in with the university and the local community?
So we are a dry state, and I would like them to continue with further research on plants that do not need that much water, and possibly get more plants to not use as much water for the community, because we are a dry state, and I would like that to be implemented here around, and just to inform everyone how serious it is. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Candidate Melchor. Candidate Rogaszewski, as the second candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. As a land-grant institution, CABNR is particularly important to our community. What special initiatives would you like to see CABNR engage in with the university and local communities?
Because I've had many opportunities available to CABNR students are such as undergraduate research. It's a huge part of ASUN, and with our D1 Carnegie classification of a research university, I believe that CABNR students taking part in more research on campus. Personally, I work with the community-based undergraduate research. I actually research rain on snow flooding in the Truckee Meadows to try to mitigate the effects of flooding so we could all get to school and the university. So more CABNR students being engaged in research and lab groups on campus. I believe that's a huge part of being more engaged in this community.
Great, thank you. Candidate Romero, as the third candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. As a land-grant institution, CABNR is particularly important to an important part of our community. What special initiatives would you like to see CABNR engage in with the university and local communities?
So one of the things that I've been thinking about, because one of my goals was to get more community involvement, was implementing more events like Nevada Field Day, and that way we can help not only in the different majors within our college come together, but it also gives us the opportunity to come together with the Reno Sparks community. And going off of what Corey said, by doing more or offering more and encouraging more participation in research, that could also have a really positive impact on our student body and our community, with not only things like the research going on currently in Felician agriculture, but also with the greenhouse that we have, and really getting all of our resources put to a good use.
Great, thank you. Candidate Melchor, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal. Candidate Frost, I'm sorry. Candidate Frost, as the fourth candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question.
So
Do you want me to do the question? Let me do the question. As a land-grant institution, CABNR is a particularly important part of our community. What special initiatives would you like to see CABNR engage in with the university and local communities?
So growing up in a small town, we used to have a thing called Ag in the Class Day. And it was a day where the high school reached out to local schools and they taught about agriculture and the other classes they were taking there. And I think that'd be a great way for CABNR to reach out to the community and promote not only like agriculture, but sustainability practices like water conservation, recycling, renewable energy at local schools for students to learn about. I would agree with CABNR has a lot of great research going on, and I think it's important that we promote that at not just schools, but also here at the university so other colleges can understand what we're doing at CABNR.
Great, thank you, Candidate Frost. Candidate Melchor, now you have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
I do not have a rebuttal. I do not want to disagree with anyone because everyone has really good ideas. So thank you.
Great, thank you. Candidate Rogashevsky, you now have the opportunity for your 1-minute rebuttal.
I don't have a rebuttal. I would just like to correct my earlier statement. I believe I said D1 Carnegie classification. I believe it's actually R1 Carnegie classification, so that's it.
Thank you. Candidate Romero, you now have the opportunity for your 1-minute rebuttal.
Sorry to be repetitive, but no rebuttal here. But I do really like the insight that we all have to give. These are very good ideas, and I think no matter how this election turns out, these are things that we should all keep into consideration.
Great, thank you. Candidate Frost, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
Not to beat a dead horse, but I don't have a rebuttal either. But I just agree with my fellow candidates again.
Okay, stunning. Okay. We will now move to the third question of this debate. Candidate Rogashevsky, as the first candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. As a land-grant institution, access and affordability are core values of the university. If elected, how would you suggest the university and ASUN address these obstacles?
Well, just as our classification as a land-grant institution, I know at the state level there has been efforts to try to also sell some of the UNR farms, which is a huge part of the College of Agriculture. We actually have one of the largest farms in the country. So I just believe protecting those resources such as that and ensuring that we do maintain these opportunities available to us in the college is essential to providing a quality education to these agriculture and various CABNR students.
Great, thank you. Candidate Romero, as the second candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. As a land-grant institution, access and affordability are core values of the university. If elected, how would you suggest the university and ASUN address these obstacles?
So access and affordability, addressing access, I think a way that we could do this is actually through civic engagement. I think if we go talk to the different schools in our community, it's important for people to know that you don't necessarily have to be a student of UNR in order to come and, you know, even sit at the KC, do whatever it is you need to do. I think also going off of what Corey said, it's important for people to know the different resources that we have. For example, I genuinely did not know that we had the biggest farm, but it's something interesting and something that I hope to get everyone more aware of.
Great, thank you. Candidate Frost, as a third candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. As a land-grant institution, access and affordability are core values of the university. If elected, how would you suggest the university and ASUN address these obstacles?
So I think one of the biggest problems we have with affordability right now is the housing crisis we have in Reno. I think students are paying exorbitant housing prices. And I'd really like to see ASUN pass a resolution in favor of more affordable housing, possibly better financial aid for those who need help with housing. And then I'd like to see the university act on that and provide more affordable housing.
Great, thank you. Candidate Melchor, as a fourth candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. As a land-grant institution, access and affordability are core values of the university. If elected, how would you suggest the university and ASUN address these obstacles?
I would like them to sustain the opportunities that we have in here, such like the farm and the greenhouses, and by ASUN, we could probably do this through Web Campus, as have like a little course class, and just have like people just check it out and inform them what we can have to offer, because I know a lot of people do get emails, but the majority just swipe left and just delete them. So I feel like if you have it there and say you have nothing to do, there's a possibility that they would check that in the Web Campus. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Candidate Rogashevsky, you now have the opportunity for a 1 minute rebuttal.
No comment.
Thank you. Candidate Romero, you now have the opportunity for a 1 minute rebuttal.
Just to add on, I didn't cover affordability, but again, I think this has something to do with students not knowing about the resources that our university has to offer. We do have a lot of scholarships and different academic success programs and set for students that they can't take advantage of them because they don't know about them. So addressing that would definitely help.
Thank you. Candidate Frost, you now have the opportunity for a 1 minute rebuttal.
Again, I agree. I didn't really address access either. I think keeping the university, like making sure our libraries are open late, because I know students aren't necessarily on just a regular 8-hour day. I agree again, not really a rebuttal here.
Thank you, Candidate Frost. Candidate Melchor, you now have the opportunity for your 1 minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal.
Okay, wonderful. Or wait, stunning. Audience participation. Are we taking questions? With the completion of these questions, we will now move to audience questions. Do you all have them in here? And a quick reminder, if you have questions, please put them in this box. Okay. We're going to start with candidate Romero. As the first candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. Please bear with me on reading if you are elected, how will you ensure the involvement of all students, more specifically underrepresented populations, that have not traditionally participated in all university-run events out of ASUN? Let me try to read. I apologize. If you are elected, how will you ensure that involvement of all students, and more specifically, underrepresented students that have not traditionally participated in all university-run events, how will you help them out, those students, through ASUN?
So actually, this is something that is very important to me, underrepresented groups. I was actually born in a very small town in Mexico, and I lived half of my life in Mexico City before moving to Las Vegas. Coming here, one of the bigger issues that I had was not feeling like I saw myself represented. And I think a way for the underrepresented community to be more involved is seeing other people that they're comfortable with, familiar with, be represented in these areas. I really like Night of All Nations is something that is incredible, seeing a bunch of different cultures coming together. More events like that would definitely encourage more involvement from such communities.
Thank you, candidate Romero. Candidate Frost, as a second candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. If you are elected, how will you ensure that the involvement of all students, but more specifically underrepresented students that have not participated traditionally in ASU-run events, how will you ensure that they participate?
I think the most important thing when trying to reach out to people is just being involved and making sure, like, you know their senator, they know their senator, go to multicultural Greek events, go to other clubs that promote diversity. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate Frost. Candidate Melchor, as a third candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. If you are elected, how will you ensure that involvement of all students, but more specifically, underrepresented students, participate in more ASUN run events?
So I'm sure everyone knows of Nevada Bound, or not Nevada Bound, Nevada Fit. And I like the fact that CABNR and College of Science are making those mandatory so they can have their own mentors. And I feel like if we made more of those colleges, make them mandatory, they will know more of the college, of like clubs, and this further shows them like what opportunities we have, and statistically it does shows that you do get more involved with the college. So I think if we stay with the Nevada Fit's mandatory, I think with the underrepresented students, they'll feel more comfortable, have more friends, and they'll be more involved. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Rogashevsky, as the fourth candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. If you are elected, how will you ensure that involvement of all students, but more specifically, underrepresented students, participate in more ASUN events?
I believe that an often immensely underrepresented groups of students is those from the rural population. Speaking from personal experience here, when you come from a place where your graduating class was 17 people, it's really kind of out of your depth when you come here and instantly you're thrown into 100 level courses that are 200 plus people in them. You feel really insignificant, actually, and I'm speaking from personal experience here. I was kind of a recluse. I didn't even know what ASUN was. I had no desire to be engaged such as this, but after my experiences here changed and through the valuable mentors that were provided through CABNR, we have some really great advisors. They encouraged me to participate, and now I'm doing research on campus, and I'm here as the current CABNR senator. So I believe that it's really all about education for these people that come from a hugely underrepresented area. If they don't know what chances are afforded to them, how are they ever going to participate in such? Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Romero, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
I think it all just goes back to allowing students to know that they have the access to different resources. If we want more community involvement from these underrepresented communities, we have to also improve our universities' affordability, accessibility, everything that we have talked about in order for them to know that they can do different things on campus, and having a diverse set of people to look up to so that they can know that this is something that they can do in the way that other people are doing it.
Thank you. Candidate Frost, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
I just really wanted to commend my other candidates because I think I gained a lot of insight just listening to everyone's responses on this.
Thank you. Candidate Melchor, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal here. Thank you.
Candidate Rogaszewski, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. Do we have another? All right, this marks the end of the first debate tonight. Please give everyone a round of applause, please. I would like to thank the CABNR candidates for their participation. We will now have a 5-minute intermission for the candidates of Community Health Science to set up on stage, please. Thank you.
Good job, guys.
get started shortly. Okay. Daniel comes back. Can we do it? Hello, testing one. All right. I think we can start now. Donahue. Commentary. Brembe. Got this. All right. Welcome back from our commercial break. Doing okay? Y'all still alive? Okay, we need to make it sound like there's more people in here. Ready? Y'all still alive? Y'all good? There we go. Come on, we need some energy here. This is a wonderful privilege and honor to that we are afforded is to again make our voices heard, and good thing it's recorded because then you'll be able to push these out. So thank you for being here. Okay. The same rules. The next group is the College of Community and Health Sciences. The same rules addressed earlier will continue with this debate. Candidates, are there any questions before we commence this debate? Okay, great. I would like to remind the audience that the debate has begun and silence and respect is needed for the candidates. Candidate Donahue, you have 2 minutes to introduce yourself and your platform.
Hello, my name is John Donahue. I am a sophomore in the College of Community Health Sciences, majoring in kinesiology with a minor in nutrition. And as far as campus involvement goes, I am a member of Alpha Tau Omega, a disaffiliated fraternity of the University of Nevada, Reno. One of my main reasons for running, and one of the main reasons I'm in the College of Community Health Sciences is because I lost over 140 pounds throughout my high school career, and it absolutely changed my life. And I just kind of want to be a tool for, again, underrepresented students on the university who maybe don't know about the amazing things we have at our gym or the amazing, food selections we have at the Joe. And that's why my two main goals are outreach as well as awareness. I would like to try to create possibly workshops with staff that are RNs, registered nutritionists, as well as anybody else who could give some insight to these kids who maybe want to, lose that weight or become a better person or get more in shape, and they don't know about these opportunities. And as far as awareness goes, starting a sort of health pamphlet that is posted around the university that allows students to understand what fitness events we have as well as what opportunities are provided to them by the university. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Commentary, you have 2 minutes to introduce yourself and your platform.
Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa Comanduri. I am a freshman here at the university. I am majoring in pre-nursing and minoring in public health. I was born and raised here in Nevada, and I was a legislative intern for this past session at ASUN. So as for my platform, my biggest goal is to increase campus safety. This past fall semester, there was a total of 9 campus security alerts sent out to the entire student body. So campus security is becoming increasingly important, and I think we can do this through expanding the student healthcare center hours, expanding campus escort as the student body expands, as well as creating a more ADA accessible campus, as well as I am a student of the College of Community Health Sciences, I plan on creating an advisory board for the College of Community Health Sciences. I know this project is already in works. I would really like to officially establish this, as the College of Community Health Science is growing exponentially, not only here at the University of Nevada, Reno, but also across the nation. And finally, as ASUN is an organization that upholds the slogan, Learning, Leadership, Life, I would really like to provide more funding towards the leadership scholarship that we provide. We provide 5 $1,000 scholarships to students every year for this specific leadership scholarship. And as an organization that wants to increase leadership for students of all races, genders, and backgrounds, I think that we need to increase funding for the scholarship. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Prempe, you have 2 minutes to introduce yourself and your platform.
Hello, everyone. My name is William Prempe. I am a sophomore majoring in public health. Since joining the university in fall of 2017, I've been involved in Greek life. This past session of ASUN, I was an intern for the legislative branch, and I'm a member of the Public Health Coalition. To jump right into my goals, sum it all up, I want to increase accessibility and awareness for all of our resources on campus, as well as increase student engagement, and be a voice for our underrepresented student population. And I plan to increase awareness for our resources through workshops, tabling events, and being active in orientation process. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now move to the debate questions. Candidate Donahue, as the first candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. With the resident halls dining contracts coming to an end and the university in negotiation for a new contract, what should be a priority when considering dining contracts for students?
So I did, in fact, live in the dorms, and I think that the university does a very great job in trying to provide healthy options for students. However, I think that they try to go more in towards of quantity instead of quality. And I personally think that instead of having these large selections, if we had smaller selections that were better prepared, that were healthier, and had more micronutrient density in them, I believe that not only will the students feel better, but I think that they would actually learn to like healthy food, because I think I did, just trying new things around the dining hall when I lived there. Thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Donahue. Candidate Kamanduri, as the second candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. With the residence halls dining contracts coming to an end and the university in negotiation for a new contract, what should be a priority when considering dining contracts for students?
As previously said, I believe that there are quite a few healthy options provided at the Down Under Cafe. However, a lot of their healthier options are what's supposed to be healthy on a daily basis. They do include a lot of oils in that, and despite showing all the nutrition facts on that, it's simply not enough. So I believe that we need to incorporate more healthier options, especially since we want like changing options. It can't just be a consistent salad bar that is present every day. It has to be consistently changing. Something that provides more macro and micronutrients into their diets, as well as the fact that students are paying a great amount of money for these dining plans. It is becoming increasingly important that students are less able to afford these dining plans. So for those who are barely scraping by and trying to pay for their dining plans, they have to be able to eat healthy, because it's all they have to eat, as students are depending on that for their food for all 3 meals a day, every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Prempe, as the third candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. With the residence halls dining contract coming to an end and the university in negotiation for a new contract, what should be a priority when considering dining contracts for students?
I believe the priority should be quality over quantity. I know living in Argenta last year, there was a lot of food in the Down Under Cafe that I never even tried. So I think focusing more on healthier and better options and limiting them so where not all the food is wasted and we have a better selection and a more concrete option of foods.
Great. Thank you. Candidate Donahue, you have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Comanduri, you have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal here. I feel that all the candidates have reiterated almost the same ideals for what the dining plan should be.
Thank you. Candidate Prempe, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal.
Stunning. We will now move to the second question of this debate. We're going to start with you, Candidate Comanduri. As the first candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What do you believe is the greatest challenge facing community health sciences students, and how do you think it should be addressed?
All right. Well, as I stated previously, the College of Community Health Sciences is one that is growing exponentially, not only here at the University of Nevada, Reno, but across the nation as well. Thus, as the college continues to grow, problems within the college and communicating them to ASUN grows with it. So I feel that we need to officially establish an advisory board for this college. There's only 3 senators representing the College of Community Health Sciences, and it is incredibly hard for students in that growing college to consistently communicate with their senators, especially if they feel uncomfortable or they don't specifically know their senators. Thus, an advisory board would allow for smoother communication between the College of Community Health Sciences and the students about problems within that college, so that way they are better represented throughout the university. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Prempe, as the second candidate, you have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What do you believe is the greatest challenge facing community health sciences students, and how do you think it should be addressed?
I believe the biggest challenge for students in the College of Community Health Science is the issue of not being able to voice their concerns and opinions well enough. I believe we should address that and move forward with that by establishing a student council similar to what the College of Business does. So that way we can hear more from our students and have more of a say in what's going on campus.
Thank you. Candidate Donahue, as the third candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What do you believe is the greatest challenge facing community health sciences students, and how do you think it should be addressed?
I'd just like to reverberate what my candidates said, or fellow candidates said. I do believe that there is an issue in just any large institution such as this university of the average student getting their voice heard, and I honestly support and agree with what both my fellow candidates said, and that there needs to be some type of advisory board or more outreach to the students to have their voices heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Comanduri, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal. Again, we all agree on the ideals of what is the main problem within the College of Community Health Sciences.
Thank you. Candidate Prempe, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal.
And then Candidate Donahue, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. We will now move to the third question of this debate. We're starting with you, Candidate Prempe, as the first candidate. You will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. With the university seeking Carnegie classification for civic engagement, what are some ways that community health science students can help create a culture of civic engagement on campus?
I believe to increase civic engagement within my college, I think promoting all the organizations we have on campus, especially ASUN. For example, when coming into university for about first semester, I had no idea what ASUN was. So I think stressing the importance of who our student government is and what other organizations we have on campus, and stressing how important they are to our campus. So I think just letting the College of Community Health Science know what is going on and giving them more of a voice in what's going on too.
Thank you, candidate Prempe. Candidate Donahue, as the second candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. With the university seeking Carnegie classification for civic engagement, what are some ways that community health science students can help create a culture of civic engagement on campus?
Well, I don't know if any of the audience is aware, but there are 3 seats open for the College of Community Health Sciences, and there are only 3 candidates. So I believe that just making ASUN as a whole more aware to the College of Community Health Sciences, and as well as, like we all said, increasing outreach to these students to better, almost put a fire under these, leaders who have great ideas for this college to get up here and not make this, or just add more competition in general. So, thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Commandery, as the third candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. With the university seeking Carnegie classification for civic engagement, what are some ways that community health science students can help create a culture of civic engagement on campus?
As stated by my previous candidate, there are only 3 people running for Senate right now for the College of Community Health Sciences, and I feel like the campaign budget, which is $200 plus which includes a $50 campaign fee, is very intimidating for students to run, and I think they don't understand or might not think that they don't have the resources to run or that they don't have enough money to run. And I think that campaign spending amount really needs to be lowered so that everyone can feel as though they can participate. Additionally, one of my goals is to increase the funding for the leadership scholarship. I think if we increase funding for that scholarship as well as advertising the $150,000 worth of scholarships ASUN gives out every year to students, then students will be more inclined to be a part of ASUN and be more inclined to be civically engaged. Furthermore, the College of Community Health Sciences has centers such as the Center for Technologies and Substance Abuse, and I think utilizing that center and being a part of organizations such as that and being a part of all the resources provided on campus, such as PAC provisions, will allow for students to be more civically engaged with our university. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Prempe, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal.
Thank you. Candidate Donahue, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
I have no rebuttal. Thank you.
Candidate Commandery, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. We will now move on to the 4th question of the debate. Candidate Donahue, as the first candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. As a community health science student, what specific health initiatives would you like to see implemented on campus for your?
I believe that, like I said, a lot of the students maybe may see our gym and think, wow, this is like an incredible place. This is, somewhere I can change my life, and they have no idea how to go about that. So creating these workshops that have these outreach to students who are trying to better their overall health and wellness, I think will overall create a more healthy culture on campus, as well as better the lives of my constituents. So thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Commandery, as the second candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. As a community health science student, what specific health initiatives would you like to see implemented on campus for your constituents?
I personally would like to see more of the resources used on campus, such as the one I mentioned earlier about the Center for Substance Abuse Technologies and implementing that in their lives more. Additionally, there is a training center for public health that a lot of people don't know about, and I think we really need to be implementing that and allowing students to understand that more. And that is exactly what the outreach hours are for, and what, if I was elected, what I would use my outreach hours for. Furthermore, I think we need to be advertising the fact that the university has spent a lot of money on this practically brand new facility to work out in, and encourage students to exercise there as well as changing their lifestyles and incorporating time into the gym, and advertising the fact that the gym provides different classes for students to partake in, and it's not just about working out by yourself. There's plenty of resources to help you get into the gym and be a part of that wonderful facility. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Prempe, as the third candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. As a community health science student, what specific health initiatives would you like to see implemented on campus for your constituents?
I would like to see more of a push on the emphasis on mental health. I believe that's something that's kind of overlooked. For as much as college students are stressed out, I do think that in college, this is the most stressful time of everyone's lives. So I think by promoting the counseling center and having events and workshops to where students can better understand how they can deal with mental health, as well as better understand it. And I feel like with that, that will translate into how they perform academically. So I would say mental health.
Thank you, Candidate Prempe. Candidate Donahue, coming to you. You now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
I don't have a rebuttal. I just wanted to say that I think that all these ideas you just heard are incredible. I do agree with Candidate Prempe that mental health is an issue that is overlooked, and it is something that as stressed college students we should emphasize more. And also what Candidate Comandori said, we have a swimming pool here, and like nobody knows that. And that is some of like the best cardio you can get, and like I think that should be, I am an advocate for swimming, so thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Donahue. Candidate Comandori, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal here either. I just am very thankful to have worked with all these candidates up here and listened to their ideas.
Thank you. Candidate Prempe, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
Also, no rebuttal, but I agree with my candidates, and I feel that our college is in good hands after this election.
Thank you. With the completion of these questions, we will now move into audience questions. So if anyone has questions they would like to ask, please drop it in the box. We're going to start with you, Candidate Comandori. As the first candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What committees would you most imagine yourself in?
I plan on sitting on the Committee of Budget and Finance just because I think the money that's allocated and where it's allocated to in ASUN is very interesting, and I think it's a very important subject, especially when it comes to clubs and organizations, as we had a record-breaking over 300 clubs this past semester in ASUN. Additionally, I would like to sit on the Committee of Public Affairs, as I find this is also very important. Although they are public affairs, it is still problems that are affecting people within our university, and I would love to be engaged with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Comandori. Candidate Prempe, as the second candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What committees would you most imagine yourself in?
I believe I would most imagine myself on the Committee of Budget and Finance. As an intern with ASUN, that was the meeting I sat in on the most. I thought it was very interesting how we allocated our money for things on campus, and I'm interested in how we use our funds for the betterment of our campus.
Thank you. Candidate Donahue, as the third candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What committees would you most imagine yourself in?
I would most imagine myself sitting on the Committee of Public Affairs, just because I believe that I am a man of the people and that I would like to see the people's needs met, and I believe that that is a committee that dedicates themselves to that.
Thank you, Candidate Donahue. Candidate Comanduri, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal.
Candidate Prempe, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal.
Candidate Donahue, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal.
Okay, stunning. We have one more, we have another audience question. So we're going to start with you, Candidate Prempe. As the first candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What do you think ASUN's role is in addressing issues such as the swastikas drawn on campus?
I believe ASUN's role in that situation is to be the voice of the students, as well as let the students know that that is not permitted or acceptable on our campus. I believe ASUN has done a great job with addressing these issues, and I'm excited to see how they keep addressing issues like this moving forward.
Thank you, Candidate Prempe. Candidate Donahue, as the second candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What do you think ASUN's role is in addressing issues such as the swastikas drawn on campus?
I believe that the University of Nevada should be very proud of the fact that we are a place where anybody can be themselves. However, that is hate speech, and that is not okay. Unfortunately, you cannot change the minds of ill-minded people like that. So I believe that just by enforcing the culture that we have, that the University of Nevada is a safe space, and as well as allowing ASUN to keep voicing that message is the only way we really can address it in such trying times. Thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Donahue. Candidate Comanduri, as the third candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What do you think ASUN's role is in addressing issues such as the swastikas drawn on campus?
I believe ASUN plays a huge role in addressing issues like this. When students hear about something like this happening, they immediately look towards the student government, asking like what we are going to do as the student government, as we are the voices of these students. However, most students don't understand that we are students with them, and we are working to make changes as well, either through Senate or through other appointed positions in ASUN. And I think that students are constantly looking towards us and seeing what we are going to do and how we are going to change what is happening on campus, from whether it be hate speech or any sort of racism on campus. Thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Comanduri. Candidate Prempe, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal, thank you.
Candidate Donahue, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal. Thank you.
Candidate Comanduri, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal. Thank you.
This is the last question. We will start with, who did I start with last? We'll start with Candidate Donahue. Candidate Donahue, as the first candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What efforts will you make to ensure all constituents within your college feel empowered to approach you as their senator?
Well, I believe that as a part of one of my main goals, that outreach is very important. I mean, there's not a lot of my constituents here currently, but I am a very open person, and I love to hear people's ideas, especially my own college, because the people in my own college are like-minded to me. And whether that just be through, outreach hours or my own personal workshops that I plan on starting. I believe that I am a tool for the people, and that is why I am here today running. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Candidate Comanduri, as the second candidate, you will have 2 opportunities to respond to the following you will have 2 opportunities, 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What efforts will you make to ensure all constituents within your college feel empowered to approach you as their senator?
I think this is exactly what outreach hours are for. I will talk to specifically community health science classes and go to the Orvis building to talk to students there. Furthermore, there are specific clubs within the College of Community Health Sciences, including nursing club, that I can attend and I can speak to them at their meetings. Many of the fraternities I have talked to on campus have already welcomed has already welcomed me to speak to their organization. So most of the clubs as well as organizations on this campus are welcoming and willing to listen to you talk, and I would love to let them know that I am their senator and I want to hear their issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Prempe, as the third candidate, you will have 2 minutes to respond to the following question. What efforts will you make to ensure all constituents within your college feel empowered to approach you as their senator?
I think being a college student, voicing your concerns, it's kind of intimidating to talk to administration, so I feel I should be the bridge, if elected, between the students and administration to hear the concerns and hear the problems that community health science students may have. Also, by being that friendly face on campus, reaching out to clubs in my specific college, for example, the PA club or the pre-nursing club, and just hearing what they have to say, because I feel like being a CHS student, there's not a lot of opportunities to voice your concerns to people who can make that change. Thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Prempe. Candidate Donahue, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
I have no rebuttal. I just wanted to say I'm really glad to be running with these guys. I believe our college is in really good hands. So thank you.
Candidate Comanduri, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal. It is an honor to run with these candidates. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Prempe, you now have the opportunity for a 1-minute rebuttal.
No rebuttal, but I'm happy to be running with these candidates.
Thank you. And that marks the end of the debate for Community Health Sciences. Thank you all. Please give our candidates a big round of applause. And at this moment, I'd like to invite Daniel Littlebeck onto the stage, Director of Elections and Civic Engagement Education.
Testing, testing. Okay, so I'd like to thank the audience for all of you attending tonight. Very, very great. So tomorrow, just a couple of reminders. Tomorrow we have the next debate between the College of Education, School of Journalism, and College of Business candidates. And that will be tomorrow, Wednesday, February 27th at 7:30 in Ballroom A. Then the next debate will be on Monday, March 11th, 2019, and that will be the general elections debate with the president and vice presidential candidates. This debate will be comprised of the presidential and vice presidential candidates, and I hope to see you all there. And remember to vote on Web Campus on March 13th and 14th. And thus ends the night. Thank you all. Oh, yes, and for candidates, please make sure to check your signs. It's been very windy. Cool. I'd like to give another round of applause to the candidates as well. You all have a good night and drive safe.